Okay, welcome to day 4 of Projekt Atonimus. Just getting back over the weekend, getting back into the swing of things. Was messing around with some live streaming stuff. Want to get that going sometime soon, but I am not dialed in on that just quite yet. So I'll keep working on that. Did some research in today's Pomodoro. Last week, just to recap, on day 3, we had locked in and decided we're going to move forward with the PromptStack product with Projekt Atonimus, or with Atonimus. Atonimus is going to use Perplexity Computer to create a product called PromptStack, where we'll be giving away all the prompts that we're developing as we build the Projekt Atonimus. Excuse me. So there'll be some prompts that it'll create, and then there's some that we're going to gather. Again, all these prompts will be available for free to members of the Projekt Atonimus school community. It'll be included with your membership, along with future products and projects as well. So today we are going to be working on getting the newsletter up and running and the Gumroad account set up and going. Now, I've not played with these yet. I do want to do a first run with the new format. We're going to do probably a full sprint, a full 15 minutes, working on getting things in place that Atonimus needs to run properly. Which means today we're going to work on having Atonimus set up as much as possible, an account for Beehiiv. I think we're going to use Beehiiv for phase 1 at least, and into phase 2 of Projekt Atonimus for our newsletter. And then at some point we are going to switch to ConvertKit, because long term, with the research that I've been doing in my planning Pomodoros with Atonimus, it just looks like that's going to be the better tool for us long term. But as terms of ease of setup and giving us like the basic API access that we need for Atonimus to be able to connect and get analytics and know what's working, what's not, and for us to be able to A/B test titles and whatnot for our newsletters, and make sure we're getting the proper messaging out and improving our messaging, all these things that Atonimus needs to do autonomously. And so yeah, we're going to work on that today, getting Beehiiv set up and then getting Gumroad set up, which will be the storefront for the PromptStack. So for people who aren't members of Projekt Atonimus school community, and that's school, SKOOL, fantastic. I need to put a link in there for people to use it. It really is a fantastic product. If you are trying to set up any communities, like a Facebook group or something like that, this is like 100 times better. I say it all the time, but it really is. The community has been very well designed, or the tool school, SKOOL, has been really well designed for human interaction. So it's really good at getting people to engage. It's a gamified system. I love using it. And so that's going to be where Projekt Atonimus is. You can get a membership to that and get all the work that we do in a Projekt Atonimus, or you can buy some of the stuff if you just need some one-off stuff and you want to buy a PromptStack membership, you can do that. Also, eventually, once I get the live stream thing figured out and working, we'll start live streaming. And then once we get to a point where I'm allowed to monetize the channel, or Atonimus is allowed to monetize the channel, we will actually set up a membership, YouTube membership, so you can join live streams and the Q&As. Members of, I'm trying to fix that. I want to make sure that members of school get that. So either we'll be streaming it to school simultaneously, so school members can do that, or if there's a way that I can make school members of the YouTube channel too, we'll figure that out and do that. So that's down the road for us. But so today, we are going to, I'm going to double check our notes here. And are we in Projekt Atonimus? No. Okay, so let's see. We decided to scroll here a little bit. I was moving up through the thread earlier today to try to make sure that I was remembering things that we had discussed. I normally would just ask Atonimus through Perplexity at this point to give me a recap, but I was at a good stopping point. And I had a good question lined up, and so I didn't want to mess anything up. So there's our day 3. And where are we? Working on day 4. That going. There's our PromptStack part where we're setting up PromptStack and our different ones. That was from our last Pomodoro. Working Pomodoro on day 3. Made a decision to go with PromptStack. And we created a list of projects that we're going to work on and made that persistent. And now we got our prompts that we created. Okay, here we go. Next plan. If we hit resume PromptStack, individual. So now I'm looking at this, I'm thinking maybe we should work on PromptStack, but I can't remember if we need to do the, yeah, we don't have the prompts ready yet. But we need to have, yeah, I think we need to have it set up. And this is where I was talking about at the end of day 2. I definitely want to make sure we're working on stuff that moves the project forward, creating not just marketing, branding, things like that nature, but this is pretty key at this point in time. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to do extra work. We'll treat the first 15 minutes, we'll do a sprint, and that will be trying to get having Atonimus set up a Gumroad account with its agent mail address, and also an account on Beehiiv as well. So if we get to the end of the 15 minutes and we're not there, if Atonimus hasn't been able to do that, then we will go and set up. We'll stop there. I'll finish the setup afterwards, and at that point we will do some more work on PromptStack itself. So just have to say resume PromptStack, and we can do that. So yeah, that's where we're going to go. And just so you guys remember, in terms of lost my train of thought there. Okay, so we will do what we said we were going to do there. We're going to start with a sprint. If this is one of the first episodes you've watched, a sprint for me is 15 minutes. I usually work in terms of Pomodoros. So our working Pomodoro, each time we do a recording, is going to be 25 minutes long. That's what a Pomodoro is, 25 minutes work, usually followed by a 5-minute rest period. You don't have to. You can do another one right after it. Sometimes that's how I do it. I'll do 2 back-to-back, and then I'll take a 10-minute break and go get some movement. But I usually don't do more than 2 Pomodoros without taking a break. Just sometimes it's really short, just getting up, moving around, stuff like that. And then sometimes I break up my Pomodoros into pieces so I can focus on a couple things related to the same project at once. I really think when you do the Pomodoros, to get the best benefit out of it, there needs to be a single focus in terms of a project that you're working on. And then if you want, you can break it up into different tasks. And ideally, since I'm going to recording, I'm going to break it up into strict time periods. But ideally, you want to finish that task before you move on to something else. And sometimes when I'm working in Pomodoros like that, I might even do a first Pomodoro, and then at the end of that Pomodoro, if I'm not done, I'll give myself a sprint, which is an extra 15 minutes. And then if I still need some more time to finish that task, I start shrinking it down. So I'll do like 10 minutes. I'll do like a 10-minute, which I call a mini sprint. And then if I still need another time, I'll do like a micro sprint, which is 5 minutes. And that way I just have this. It's really helped me to keep my focus on what I'm working on. And the reason for the timer, how that helps me, is it just keeps me from going sideways, right? Chasing shiny objects, squirrels, whatnot. and just keeping focused. So it's really good. I know I'm on the clock, and I know I need to stay focused on what I'm working on. So it's been a great tool for me to keep focused when I'm working, doing deep work especially. So anyways, that's kind of how I use those. And so we are going to do a full Pomodoro today, and we're going to start the first 15 minutes. And that's going to be our sprint, and that's where we're going to work on doing setting it up on my phone here. So we're going to do the Pomodoro and the first 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes of the Pomodoro. The first sprint will be focused on getting Beehiiv set up and then Gumroad set up and having Atonimus do that. So let's go ahead and we'll start the sprint and start the Pomodoro. And now we are on the clock. So let's go ahead and I'll share my screen here and do the entire screen. Here we go. And here we go. Let's go down to the bottom. All right, shall I lock this in as the updated newsletter? Yes, let's do that. Yes. Lock in. Kit. Okay. Use voice commands as much as the updated newsletter platform decision. Then have Perplexity Computer set up the Beehiiv account using our agent mail.to account. And here we go. Let's see what happens. So it's going to use a little bit of browser automation here. So last time it was taking a little bit longer. This is why I worry about it. I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but I do want you guys to get an idea of how Perplexity Computer works, especially the browser automation. It's really cool, especially when it pops it up here. Sometimes it does it in the background, which it looks like it might be doing. Nope, it's going to pop it up. So you can see now on the left-hand side, it's going to bring up a browser here, and it's working. This is really cool. I love watching it set up we set up a Google Sheet to track expenses for the project, and it did this. Just logged in here, used their credential. You can see it's putting the email address in there. It's really cool. I love watching it work. And eventually, once we get to, this will be interesting to see what it uses for its name. Nope, don't do that. This is where I'm wondering if we need to set up an LLC for Atonimus here so that we can be within, nice. Okay, we're back recording here. We got broken, disconnected. Let's get back to it. Looks like we got, okay, let's get down to the bottom. Let's see what it told us. Okay, what I need you to do? Okay. I can see the full form now. So it hit a breaking point here. I can see the full form now. Email is pre-filled with Atonimus, our email address. There's a password field that needs to be filled in terms of service. For privacy rules, I cannot enter a password. I need you to enter the password yourself. Here is the state of the form so far. Okay, so we are going to unshare the screen. Well, actually the screen isn't being shared right now because we got disconnected. So I'm just going to keep it like that. And I've been reading, you'll see it again here in a minute, but I've been reading from our Comet browser, the feedback that I've been getting. So I'm going to go through here super quick. How much time do we got left? We've got 10 minutes. Okay, good. Let's go to our passwords app. And then we're going to create a new password. I need to create some shortcuts. It's going to be Beehiiv. Beehiiv.com. And we'll save that. Copy the password. Paste it in there. And we've got all the password conditions met, and needs your input terms checkbox. Okay. What I need you to do, tap the password field entered. And I've got I agree to terms of use of privacy, done. Let me know when done and I will take over to complete the signing up. Okay. And I'm gonna do this. The voice back on, and I'll start the screen share again so we can see next steps. I'm gonna share the whole screen and get back here. Okay. I completed steps 1 and 2. Go ahead and take over again. All right, there we go. Let's see, there goes the little blue frame, glowing blue frame that shows that, looks like I'm gonna have to do this again too to show that we're human and not a bot. So we will press and hold. I've always wondered why you get things like this, and now I know because we are actually doing it with a bot. So I do think there's going to be some limitations, but we'll see. I think with some browser automation, it may be able to read and do some of these things. All right. So now we're okay. So let's do this. Done. Go ahead and take over again. Okay, what have we got left here? We've got about 6 minutes, 50 seconds left. So we will see. Oh, it looks like it just took a step back here. Thought we were already at this place. Checking the passwords again. Working, so we will just unlock that really quick. Okay, I'm just going to hit this time in case it gives us the... Ooh, boom. Here we go. All right. I entered the password, clicked on the checkbox to agree to the terms of use, and I also clicked on the Get Started button. Period. Now it needs you to verify the email it sent to our agent mail email address. Let's see how this goes. I'm really curious if it will go ahead and use the API to get that and then fill that in. This is, can't remember if I gave it the API key. It doesn't look like I did. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to stop screen sharing again here just for a minute since I got to get some credentials. Okay, stop screen sharing. Let's look, where did I put those credentials? Hopefully in here. Nope. Okay, so let's go to we go to agent mail. We are going to we'll log in on the main page. So let's try that again with a search, and we will do agent mail login. Perplexity search for us there. All right, sign in. Go. Oh, I can't remember how I did this. Did it with my Google account. Okay. And we need to get an API key here. All right. Inboxes. There's Atonimus. We get an API key. API keys, that's where we get them. I'm going to create an API key. And we're going to call this Projekt Atonimus, PP, Perplexity Computer. Okay, create API key. Do that. Where are your notes? Your note. Got that. Hopefully we can get this done. Where are we? Got that set up. So I'm going to paste this API key here. Okay. Oh, shoot. Kind of switched up on me. There is the end of our sprint. So I'm just going to finish this task. So I'm not going to start the last 10 minutes here and work on the PromptStack offering until I get this little part done. So this will take a little bit of a moment here. There it is. There is the API key enter. So I should create it as an API key and passwords too. Be a good place to put it. Okay. So I'm going to do that really quick too. Let's follow some best practices here so I can have them all in one place. And we're going to call that. Okay. I need to do some keyboard. Awesome. Okay. Atonimus got in to the take next step here. How do I get back? Do a screen recording again. All right. So I pasted the API key into your interface. Please try and sign in now to retrieve the verification code and proceed. Here it goes. There it's switching over to the interface for agent mail, which is interesting here. Oh, there it is. Please confirm your email. There it is right there. This is proceeding here. So far, so good. Got the code. Awesome. Oh, here we go. Now it's going to get a stop here, I'm thinking, because it's going to need a phone number. Yep, there it is. Okay. Okay, so we are going to stop the screen share one more time here. And okay, good. It's canceled. And let's go back here. I'll put in the phone number. And now it's asking me for the one-time code from my text. There's the code. And it looks like it's good. All right. Oh, now I'm going to let it do. Let's go ahead and share again. I entered my phone number, got a code texted to me, entered the code, and now we are on to the next step, setting up the newsletter. Please take control again and finish setting it up. Okay, there it goes, taking control again. Going a little bit over our sprint, obviously, here, but I just want to finish this task. Like I was saying earlier, normally what I would do here is set another timer, maybe like a mini sprint. And Atonimus's newsletter, Atonimus AI, nice, using our branding rules that we set up earlier in the project. Didn't have that on any recordings, but in the planning phase, after day 0 and before day 1, we set up some branding rules. So AtonimousAI.beehiiv.com. This is really cool. It knows everything that we've talked about so far. It's just nailing it. So let's see what it does for the categories and primary and secondary categories. I'm thinking artificial intelligence is going to be the one. Yeah. And let's see what it chooses for secondary category. Or how deep it has accessibility. Oh, that's just a secondary from the main list. We're going to scroll down that list, I'm thinking. We'll see some more of it. But really cool to see Perplexity Computer doing a good job here. Atonimus running on Perplexity Computer. Artificial intelligence in business. Yeah, we'll take that. That's pretty good. Our setting up. That is the purpose. Oh, there's a tertiary. Here we go. And I think we're going to publish weekly. We didn't really specify this, so I'm really curious to see weekly. Yeah, boom. That's good. That's what I would have chosen based on what we've talked about in the project, even though I don't think we specifically said that, but this is pretty cool so far. How do we hear about us? Okay, this is cool. Let's see what it puts on for here. because I would see either search engine or other AI perplexity. We're not going to upgrade now and monetize with ad network. Just going to do the basic free plan for right now. So it's scrolling down, reading the page. Move to the free launch plan, go for up to 2,500 subscribers, which is going to be awesome for phase one, because if we get to 2,500 subscribers for the email newsletter in phase one, that is going to be just ridiculous. But who knows? Crazier things have happened, I'm sure, but I'm not expecting that much. I've got some stats already. Okay. So I think we are done at this point. I think we have got everything set up. So let's go down to the bottom. Okay. I'm going to hold off on that for right now. And we're going to do I might jump back into this later. But this is really cool. I'm going to have Atonimus do this. I might even just record it. Just it won't be part of this today's working Pomodoro for day 4. So let's go ahead and we are going to jump into another window here and get back into. See, this is the one thing I've noticed so far that it throws me off a little bit is I've done this with a lot of different. So there's our working Pomodoro. We went the whole 10 minutes over to finish that task. So one of the things that in working with AI in general is I've noticed that if you keep your threads clean, so like each conversation, each time you ask a new question in a new thread, a new window, however you want to put that, I've noticed that if you start talking about other things, it really kind of scrambles things. I would say Perplexity is much better than the other ones I've played with so far. Better than ChatGPT, better than Claude at maintaining memory of what the most important thing is and not losing its context. Claude and ChatGPT tend to get messy. So I've built this habit of starting new threads in order to ask new questions or have different conversations. That way I kind of keep each thread that I start to a specific conversation. And that seems to do the best in my work so far with large language models and whatnot for keeping context. This is where I don't want to like break its train of thought right here. How did I do this last time? Because I want to switch over to PromptStack. Okay. Oh, save this for the next Pomodoro. Boom, it knows exactly where we're at. That is awesome. Good job, Atonimus. Yes. Okay, let's use the voice. Let's save this for another Pomodoro. When I ask you to resume newsletter setup, let's come back to these 3 steps that you recommended for our next steps. For now, I'd like to spend the next 10 minutes or a mini sprint on the next steps for PromptStack. Please resume PromptStack. Let's see how that works. So that's what I set up last time. I asked it to remember where we were with PromptStack. And when I said resume PromptStack, to come back and we would set up the next part of PromptStack. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the, start our next mini sprint, our next 10 minutes. Oh, so it's going to set up Gumroad for us. It thinks that's the next step, which it was one of the steps in there. I just thought that we were going to, so, all right, we're going to spend 10 minutes setting up the Gumroad here. You can see it's doing its blue glowing frame, meaning it's thinking here. This Gumroad is where we're going to actually sell products that don't, we talked about this at the beginning of the, what's it called? Today's Working Pomodoro, today's video that we were going to, these will all be, anybody that has a Projekt Atonimus membership, these things will be free. Any products we develop will be free inside Projekt Atonimus on School. And then, but we're also going to be selling all these products and projects, whatever it is that we're working on, apps, services, workflows, they will be sold outside. I think a lot of these are going to be sold on Gumroad. And I just found out about Gumroad actually through Atonimus. Atonimus did the research and came up with this. And so this is a good platform for selling digital products and memberships. So this is really cool. So what does it want us to do here? Okay, boom. Gumroad sign up loading. I can see there's a Google sign up option, likely an email below. Before I proceed, I need your confirmation to create Gumroad account on behalf of Atonimus using our email. I should proceed to I'll handle everything except password field and CAPTCHA. We're good with that. So let's go ahead and create that account. And there goes the glowing blue frame again. So Atonimus is back on the job here, preparing to assist us. This is where I think we're running into some things that we're going to end up having to set up a bank account for Atonimus here pretty soon. And an LLC as well, so that we are in compliance with user policies. Yeah, here we go. So what do we got here? Password. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to stop the screen share here for a second. And we're going to go and set up a password here for password. And it is going to be for Gumroad. Actually, I'm going to set up this shortcut super quick here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to stay focused here. Do that later. Say I want to do a search. So username. It's our email address. This is for Gumroad. How did Gumroad do their... it's all one thing there. So just do Gumroad. All lowercase. Website would be .com. And that. Copied it. Pasted it. And go. Let's reshare this. Entire screen. Back to sharing, and let's tell password entered. Please continue. Here we go. Got our thinking halo on. Creating the account. Assuming, oh, boom, make a Gumroad account. So this is going to be interesting going forward too, to see if we're going to have to enter passwords every time, or if there's some way that we can save passwords with Atonimus so he can enter them in. That's going to be pretty important, I think, because if it can't go and automatically do some of these things, log in and whatnot, that's going to be a setback. But we'll figure something out, and we're going to use Atonimus to figure it out. So, my timer. Oh, it did start. We've got about 4.5 minutes left. So we're creating this as a single product here. I think we're going to have to go back and set this up more as a membership than a single product. And I don't remember that we discussed price. I think there was something in there, like he had made a recommendation for $7 to download. Oh, $9, I guess so. I was going to say $7 a month to start as a membership, but $9 to download, a one-time download. So now, this will be interesting to see what it's going to put there. Is it going to run the job that we talked about in our planning session? Okay, we got to. So this is probably going to run over a little bit too, because we've got 2.5 minutes left, a little less. Let's see. I don't know if it's seeing that drop down or not. It's figuring this out because of those drop downs. Send that message to it. It looks like we need to confirm your email address before you can publish and continue. But it looks like he's starting to put the content in there. What it said, is it thinking about what I said? all this work that it's done. Oh, it got it. It got the message. It switched over. Now it's looking at the agent mail. That's the Beehiiv. And that's the end of our mini sprint. So this time I'm going to follow my own rules, and now I'm going to approach this, just the basic setup. That's all we're going to finish, but I'm going to set up a 5-minute mini sprint there. Okay, there it is. There's our instructions. So this is an interesting note. This is another thing that besides API keys, passwords, things like that, anything that it's going to need to hopefully can hold these browser sessions open for the most part, but we'll find out as we go along what it can and can't do. But possibly have some hiccups with some automation if it needs to enter passwords and whatnot. I was hoping the API key would work for agent mail through Perplexity Computer. So let's see. Okay, our account has been successfully confirmed. Looks like we've got a product set up. I think we're going to have to bump up here in phase 1 the creation of an LLC, and now we've got to collect that. This is that we're going to hit a block right here because we don't have any payment methods set up. So so now we're stuck in another loop. So it looks like we can't publish and continue until we have a payment method set up, and we can't save changes until we publish and continue. So let's see what he does here. And if he doesn't get done by the end of this micro sprint, I think what we will do is go ahead and call it good for the day. And I will pick up this. Yeah, see, there it is. It won't let us. We're stuck in a little loop here. We can't publish and continue until we've got a payment method set up. So I'm just going to throw that in there because it doesn't seem to be seeing the drop downs, which was the other thing I was thinking of that may be an issue for us when it's doing browser automation like it's doing right now, is it doesn't seem to be able to see those temporary little drop down messaging windows. So look, good, he figured something out. So let's get down to the bottom here and see what it said. Okay. Done. Gumroad email has been confirmed, and the PromptStack issue number 1 through 10 prompts, our autonomous AI workflows product is now live. Here's a summary of what was completed. Email confirmed. It found the confirmation email in agent mail and confirmed the account. Product published. It's now alive at autonomous.gumroad.com. Product details, PromptStack issue number 1, 10 prompts for autonomous AI workflows. Type digital product price $9. All 10 prompts written directly into the content editor. Product is accessible on the share tab with options to share on X or Facebook and copy the direct URL. Next steps you want to may take: add a cover image via the product tab and set up a customer seat message and the product to profile. So let's do that. Please add the next steps that you recommended to our task list. And when I ask you to resume Gumroad setup, let's pick up and work on these next steps. Also, we need to set up a payment method for Gumroad. Please add that to our next steps for Gumroad also. Got that, and that should bring us to a stopping point here. It's thinking Halo again, but I don't think it really needs to do that right now. And there's the end of our micro sprint, so we're going to be done for the day here. Perfect. And those are our next steps for Gumroad. Very good. Okay. And that is it for today. I'm going to go ahead and unshare our screen, and so that was day 4. Got a few things done, went over time again, got 2 important tasks completed though. I thought we were going to need to spend some time. Actually, we got 3 tasks done, and because I thought we were going to need to spend some time. How do you do that? I'm going to do it German way. 3 tasks done today. Because we were planning to have some extra time to set up the PromptStack, but it went ahead and used what we had talked about in planning to go ahead and create the prompts to put in to the episode or to the Gumroad product. So we actually have our first product live and ready to be sold now. And I will have our other AI that does our AI editing, put it we're going to have to create some shortcuts as well. So we probably need to have, I'm trying to remember, is it Rebrandly or something like that? I want to set up some shortcuts for us at autonomous.ai. Or do we want to get a custom domain for that? Probably want to get a custom domain for that. Some other autonomous, I think I know what we'll use autonomous.one. Maybe there's even a shorter one. I don't know. I'll play around with that idea, but that's something else we got to put in the list here. I'll put that in our list here with Autonomous. We need to set up links to our Gumroad product account, which is cool. So that's where picking up my train of thought. We actually wanted to set up Beehiiv today in the first 10 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes set up Gumroad, and then we wanted to spend some time working on PromptStack. Well, Autonomous got all of that done. We ran over on Beehiiv setup. For the newsletter, we ran over on the prompt setup, not as much, or not Gumroad setup, but not as much. And the cool thing about the Gumroad setup is Autonomous initiated our work that we had planned on doing to create the first prompts and put it in the PromptStack. So that's pretty awesome. And so now we have a live product right now. We've got 2 live products technically. We've got School Community, but we've actually got a product that Autonomous created now set up and live. That's pretty cool. And almost all of it done by Autonomous himself. At this point, the only thing that we've had to do is create and enter passwords. And I'm hoping that we can figure out a way to do that going forward. The other thing we've had to do is it does usage policies with Perplexity Computer, which Autonomous is running on right now, require us to check the checkboxes to accept user policies. And then the other thing, our CAPTCHAs need to be completed by humans. So those are the 3 things that we've not been able to have Autonomous do so far. So we'll keep working on that and see what we can do. But if I have to spend a few minutes each week helping Autonomous set up accounts like that, that's not going to be too bad at all, as long as after we set it up, he's able to get in and log in and do whatever he needs to do. So that's what we'll be playing with going forward. I'm not 100% sure what we'll be doing on the day 5 episode at this point in time. I need to go back and do weekly planning, drop in everything that we completed today, and update our next steps and figure out a game plan for day 5. But I'm liking the way our format's working so far. I'm liking the progress we're making. I'm really stoked that we've got 2 ways to make money now with Projekt Atonimus, so that he can self-finance. I mean, that's the main goal here, is to get him to where he's self-creating ideas. So he's self-creating, self-improving, and self-financing or self-funding. So he's earning money to improve himself, to add new services. We do have some subscription services we're starting to see we're probably going to need phase 2 and phase 3. We're going to need probably an upgraded Perplexity account so that we have more access and more credits to access Perplexity Computer. We're going to at some point need to switch to a paid plan for our newsletter. I'm trying to think of some other things. Other services that we're using. We're going to have Perplexity pay for the Riverside account as well too here that we're using to make these recordings. So we got a lot going on, and there's some other things. So I'll need to add some of these things. But Perplexity or Autonomous is on his way using Perplexity Computer. This is like exciting stuff. Like, got our first product live. We've got a School Community live. People are going to join. I will be updating those prompts and putting them in the School Community as well before we get to day 5. And then I will also be adding some other prompts in the school community that I've been using to create prompts so I have a prompt architect prompt that you can access there that will help you to create prompts. And that I might end up adding into the PromptStack as well. We're probably going to have to do some name search. I noticed there's some other people using PromptStack, so we might have to rename that. If we do, no big deal. But yeah, so those are some things we'll be looking forward to. I'll come back for day 5. We'll get you set up and let you know what's going on then, what we worked on in the planning and how we're going to proceed. But thanks again for joining us here on day 4. See you on day 5.